I'm feeling really good right now. I feel like the boulder that is my narcissism is actually starting to move. Like, and I feel like I'm close to rolling it down the mountain. I actually served a Mormon mission back in the day when I was Mormon. When I was 19, I went to Mexico, served there for 2 years. And in Mexico, when you're building like a new structure for like these shanty homes, people they'd get everyone together to move boulders. And it was this wild experience where you look at this giant boulder and you're like, there's no way that's gonna move. And people show up with sticks, like metal and like metal rods, and they just start hitting it. And you're like, there's no freaking way. What is this, a joke? But eventually, like, it starts to wiggle, and you're like, no way. Wiggles, and it starts getting bigger, 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 and then shoom, it like rolls down the hill, and everyone hollers, and it's exciting. But that's kind of where I feel like damn, something big happened. And so let me back up and explain actually how we got here. This last weekend was really, really hard. Like, we had like two arguments back to back that essentially what happened was I got triggered. My shame got triggered. I'm to the point now where I don't yell or get angry, really. That'll start, but it devolved into me taking space and being quiet. And Kira has an abandonment wound. And so when I emotionally hijack the whole situation and make it about me, and then I, leave and she's left taking care of the kids and managing the things, and then I end up feeling better, but I come out and she's like, now she's really dysregulated, and I'm not there for her, and I don't think about her. So she's like, you're just always emotionally hijacking the whole situation. And so what ends up happening is that I'm just very emotionally unavailable for her. And I feel like in a relationship, having if someone's not emotionally available, it's extremely hard. And especially if you're the masculine role in the relationship, then a part of your job is not just to provide financially, but it's also to provide emotionally. The feminine moves more in their emotions, and so they need a grounding rod. And if I'm the one, getting thrown off half the time and being unable to support her, it's really frustrating. And I think I could see a partner being, well, what am I doing then? What's this? Why are we even here? You know? So, we had that argument, and on the back of it, as we had kind of finally tied it up, it took it was like a whole day. It was horrible. And as we finally, we're like licking our wounds from that argument, and I can tell that she feels guarded. I was like, I'm I'm gonna fix this. And so I like started like planning and like talking to ChatGPT and doing my own research, and I had a few insights that were really, really helpful for me. But the first one was to love myself in the shame. And this actually happened on the second part of the argument. Was I found I managed to just like when the shame was hitting, I just like loved myself. I loved it. It was like, hey, it's okay. Instead of being like, I'm the worst and let me run away, it was like, oof, man, hey buddy, this is big. It's okay. Just kind of like somehow emotionally gave myself a hug. Loving in the shame, I think, was a really, really helpful thing for me to do. The second was that I just made a commitment to being the rock in my relationship, to being an emotional grounding rod. And I actually made two different, I made a bunch of affirmations that part of my plan is to like read them every day. But one was, I will learn emotional self regulation. Kier needs me, and I want to be there for her. And then the other one was, as the leader of my relationship, all fights are my responsibility. I'm not saying they're my fault. What I'm saying is that I have the responsibility, meaning my ability to respond, to help influence the and make it so the fight doesn't deteriorate into chaos and madness. And that doesn't even turn into a fight to begin with, that I can show up emotionally. And it's just like this, yeah, it's super fucking hard for me, but I got to do it. I just have to. And that was really, really powerful. The last piece that came through that was really powerful for me is that love is my motivation for doing these things, not shame. And I have a handful of affirmations and just, but there was something inside me that was like, I'm not just doing this because I feel I have to or that she's going to leave me if I don't. In fact, actually, it was like, maybe she will leave, but I'm going to figure this out regardless, you know? And but I do love her so much that I want to make these changes. I want to be able to show up differently because of love, not because of shame. I've let shame run my life like subconsciously for a really long time and now still automatically, but I'm aware of it. So I guess it's conscious. But I'm like done with that. And I'm ready to show up and uh, do things out of love. And that was just really motivating and felt really good. So the part that makes me feel like the boulder's moving was we had two more just like incidences. We've had two incidences since then, and I just handled it really good. And it makes me feel really good to see I know how I would have handled this 99 times out of 100 in the past, and I just handled it different. And yeah, essentially we got into some stuff that would have triggered my shame, and it actually did trigger my shame, but instead of in the past where she's had to tell me you're getting triggered, you need to take a break. I saw it show up and I said, I love you. I got this. We got this. And she was able to just like unload on me, offload really so much of what she was feeling, and I just took it like a champ. And I didn't bury it. It was and I didn't like, isolate it. It was I want to be the leader of this relationship, and I want to because I love her so so much. And that's I believe a very healthy way to address it. And so I did, and I did it again right after that when another thing came up, and I just felt I actually got a visual while we were talking, but I visualized like an adolescent bird that's been living in the nest for a really long time, and at some point it has to fly. Like at some point it jumps off having never flown and figures out how to fly. And I felt like that was like that moment for me is that, I'd been stuck in this like childish thing and working through all this, my shame, like, but doing it all in the nest. And I've been growing up, but at some point I had to jump off and I had to fly. And God damn it, I feel like I flew. So there's probably still all kinds of stuff that I have to work on, and I'm not done yet, and I'm not claiming to be done. But I'm gonna like take the win for what it was, and hopefully keep doing it and um, learn as I go. Like I can see why this is such a really really hard pattern to change, but it is possible to change. Our brains are malleable. I'm watching my brain do, and part of the reason that I even do these videos is to help integrate it as a new part of my being. I go and I journal about it. I like party a little bit. I go do something fun. I'm like, yes, I'm doing it. And I'm trying to like note to my brain over and over, good, good, good. Do that again. Do it again next time. It's like I'm learning, just like learning any new skill. So that was my experience. It's my story. I'm feeling good right now. Riding the high of what this is. Hopefully that's helpful to somebody. See you.